I wanted to become CIO when I didn't know how to become a CIO. Or rather, we are the first in not only in UK, maybe in Europe, to go this path. Every time I see a challenge, right, it excites me. He shared that your attrition is quite low. What you do differently? If somebody looks back at my decision, it should not have been seen as a wrong decision. The kind of investment. So we are investing about 3.6 billion in next 5 years.
Hello and welcome to our BGS Talks series, where we talk with influential leaders of the oil and gas industry. And today I have a special guest from Essar Oil, Chief Information and Digital Officer, Vineet Jaiswal. Vineet, hello, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you and lovely to be here.
Thank you very much for coming today. And so just to introduce you, you are a CIO in your company, and it is a very important role, and it's lots of responsibilities, yeah. But it is, I believe that to be on such position, you really need to like what you're doing. So can you tell me like what inspires you in your job?
Definitely. I think it's a very good point that you should like what you do, right? And I always believe company pays for my passion. I enjoy what I do. Okay. So as a CIO, I'm expected to do two things. Okay. So the title is actually CIDO. Okay.
CIDO,
Chief
yes,
Information
CIDO,
and Digital Officer. So there are two sides of it. First is all about IT strategy for the company. Okay, that's a foundation layer for any company, right? And digital is all about helping with the top line and bottom line improvement. Okay, so what I'm expected to do is help the company in this transformation, as well as make sure that the IT systems are perfect, foundation is perfect, and we are secure.
That's very interesting. And so you have a big team, right? So you have to manage lots of people, I suppose. And how do you like it, and how do you manage with this? Do you find it inspirational as well?
Definitely. One of my key strengths is working with people. I believe when I work with people, I learn a lot. So it's not about the size of the team. It's all about the impact the team brings. We have teams in India, we have teams in UK, and we have a lot of partners.
Yes.
So that's the way we work here. And managing team is not a problem. I think it's always fun to know more people, learn from them, right, and help them grow.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, and it can be inspiring. That's true. And so, can you tell us about your journey? How you became a CIO? Maybe there were some special situations or moments, like I don't know, like milestones.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's very funny, but I wanted to become CIO when I didn't know how to become a CIO. It was back in 1996. I was sitting with one of my friend uh, at a city in India, and we were talking, and he said, "Okay, what do you want to do?" I said, "I've read about CIOs." I said, "I want to become CIO." Okay. 14 years down the line, I became CIO, right? I think there is a navigation path and it can't be the same path for everyone.
Yeah.
If you have a passion, if you have a vision to achieve something, I think you can achieve. So later on, like I wanted to lead data team, right? So I got that role on the data. Then I wanted to do digital. So I think what happens once you think about you want to do something,
Yeah.
it automatically falls in place, and if you enjoy it, it really adds value to that.
And as for the very beginning, so did you think about the career, about your future career? So you were a mechanical engineer, right? And so did you think why you chose this profession? Was there something like some fundamental something?
So two things. First, I would have chosen computers. So in school, 11th and 12th, I got exposure to computers. I got option for selecting computer engineering as well as mechanical. I had both the options. My father used to be a mechanical engineer, and I was very impressed with him. The way he used to do big machines. He was in coal mines, so he was a miner, right?
That's
So I was super impressed, and I thought, how can somebody do engineering in computers?
yeah.
It does coding. It's so simple. So that's the reason I took mechanical as an engineering. But what I realized during my schooling time itself, during the college time, what I realized is that while mechanical is a great field, right? I had a edge on computers. I could do a lot of stuff. And then when I passed out, I think things came in place where I joined a job which was
Yeah.
mechanical job, but there was an opportunity where they had an inventory problem.
Ah.
Okay, and I developed a very small software on inventory. So that's how the journey started.
Oh, that's very impressive, With over 20 years of experience in the oil and gas and like energy sector, can you tell now what now inspires you and what does make you go further in your journey?
In oil and gas, yeah, I've seen the upstream side of it,
Yes.
midstream and now downstream.
Yeah.
So entire cycle I have really completed. So in last 20 years, right, what I've seen is that every time I see a challenge, it excites me. So while a lot of people would have liked to take the easier path,
Yes.
I like taking difficult path because if something is not proven, people will like to experiment. Something is not proven, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It gives me a kick.
I see.
So every time I see a opportunity where I don't know much, I could learn as well as I can bring impact. I think I
You will
love
take it.
jumping on that.
That's really interesting. And have you ever had such situations when like you had a challenge in front of you and like you were ready to jump in? Yeah, because like you usually choose a difficult part, right? But were you afraid of something at this moment or like felt nervous at the same time?
I will say I have never been afraid of anything. I have been cautious, definitely.
Cautious, yeah.
Right? Because when I do something, it also impacts company.
Yeah.
My strategic decision impacts company. What I always do whenever I take any decision, I think about 10 years down the line. If somebody looks back at my decision, it should not have been seen as a wrong decision. It's both ethical as well as it's important that people understand that because of a certain strategy we took the decision. So I will take an example. This was back in my GE days, right? And about 10 years back, we created a data lake in Hadoop, right? Hadoop was coming up. It took 6 to 8 months for me to convince the organization that we should look from a traditional data warehouse to a data lake. Now, data lake is very common across the industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now if somebody goes back to that business and looks at that and say that, okay, this was the right decision.
Have you ever done some decisions which actually were not probably perfect and probably people around were not agree with them, but then they led to the right point?
Couple of them. When I
Couple
was
of-
not a leader, first one. Okay. I was just growing as a leader, and this was back in 2004 in GE. I was given responsibility. I was a very good techie. Okay. And I always felt, okay, technology can do anything. Right.
Yeah.
And we were implementing Oracle, and I was given the Oracle risk module to implement. It was a disaster. Okay.
Really?
And it was disaster because as an IT person, I thought this is the way business should use it. Okay. Because business was not giving time. And I thought, okay, I'm techie. I know what's right for the organization. I took the call and it was a disaster. It took 6 months to fix everything, but that gave me very, very important learning. IT is not about technology. IT is about how technology impacts the business. Okay, so it should always be business first.
Yeah.
If business agrees to something, we should go for it,
Yeah.
or else try to convince it.
I see.
Right?
Complex question. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there is a philosophy around convincing, which I follow. I can share that about that, right? The
Yeah.
the I call it a 3H philosophy. 3H philosophy. Okay. So if I have to convince someone, right, first I need to get into their heart. The
Yeah.
first H is heart.
Heart.
So
Okay.
give an example which is more relevant to them. Let's assume I'm talking to someone which is a big fan of cricket.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then I tell them, okay, or take the conversation to something like, okay, yesterday somebody was given LBW. Okay. And the technology could have been used and the person would have been
Yeah.
not out. Something like that.
Something
Right?
like that.
They will understand the applicability of technology like AI. It's all AI,
Yes, it's all
right?
about it.
Artificial intelligence, and which predicts it would have hit or not.
Mm-hmm.
So this will break the ice between two people. Okay, they will be open to listen to you.
Yeah.
Okay, that technology can help. So
Yeah.
this is the first edge. Second edge is go to their head.
Heart. Okay.
Okay, to go to their head, give an example which is more relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
While I would have given a cricket example while talking, but let's assume a person is an operator and a maintenance guy in a plant.
Plant. Okay.
Okay, they maintain machines. This time I will give an example like we can use predictive maintenance
Yeah.
by putting IoT sensors.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
look at the data
And see.
and try to see whether it can fail or
Yeah.
not. And give an example telling them, okay, the other people like different competitors are using that.
Yes.
Okay, so then it will get to their, okay, a similar thing. Okay, it's not something we are trying to do new, or even if we are trying to do new, right, have the complete clarity to them. So getting to their head is the second edge.
Second edge. Okay.
And the third edge is enabling their
Hand.
hand. So what happens once you roll out any tool, until they know how to use the tool, it will be a failure.
Yeah.
One of the things which I have seen in my career, the project which has failed
Yeah.
is because of the lack of adoption and sustenance.
I see.
It's not because of a bad product was made,
Because I didn't know how to use it correctly.
how to use it. So it's important, then there has to be start. So first stage is win their heart,
Yes.
go to their head and enable their
Hands.
hand. It will be
That's amazing.
it will definitely help.
That's amazing. What I learned searching for the information about you and your company, like the main things that your company puts in front of it, it's like decentralization, decarbonization, and digitalization.
Yes.
And like how, like what does digitalization do within these points? Like how it helps to get, how it actually, how it is linked with two other points like
Okay.
decentralization. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or this 3D, it is known as 3D in energy industry. It's a big part of transformation. Okay, and all three are important.
Yes.
Okay, on decarbonization, how exactly it can be many ways. One of the ways like energy management.
Yeah.
Right, how you manage the energy. So there you use digital tools to manage energy and make sure you are optimally utilizing that.
Yeah.
Then there are two other things on the decarbonization side of it. Okay, so how much carbon footprint are you capturing?
Yeah.
So-
Produced and captured. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to understand what is the kind of carbon which is generated. If you can capture, you can save it. So
Yeah.
that's another form of decarbonization, right? And the third form of decarbonization is like the carbon capture, but also making sure that the carbon footprint goes down. So, and this is where the technology, and a lot of people will not understand, there are many times the decision which CIO takes can really help or really impact it. So, from moving from on-prem to data centers, right? Once you move from any application from on-prem to data centers,
Yeah.
then you are going in a public place that the exposure to the environment is less. Right? So one of them is right. Then making the virtual conferences better. So people don't have to travel.
Yeah.
Right? So that's another form, right? When they travel less, then the carbon footprint is less. Then other forms are like BPMs and RPAs. When you create this business process management workflows and all that, it makes people efficient.
Yes.
Or RPAs, then they don't have to spend so much of time they used to do in non-productive work. Both of them leaves the employees to spend less time on computer. That means less energy consumption.
Yeah.
That means better on decarbonization side, right? So this is like few examples on the decarbonization. On decentralization, things like how you manage the energy,
Yeah.
decentralized energy. That's one way. Second, a lot of people are using blockchain,
Blockchain realm.
right? So how you actually manage the distributed part of it, right? And then when you come to digitalization, by itself has a huge impact, right? By using technologies like IoT,
Yes.
AI, ML,
Machine learning,
right?
yeah.
All these things by itself really impacts them. So huge impact. So this 3D. So all the three things are important. Decarbonization, making sure that the carbon footprint goes down. Decentralization, helping in that entire process. And digitalization is the enabler for that.
That's very interesting. And like now, the like oil and gas sector is very much concentrated on building the better future, the greener future, right? Some of the companies, some of the refineries, they have already started implementing all this technology and stuff to get to this point, right, to the right point. But some of them, they are really on the first stage. So it's very difficult to see. And when you have to follow the strategy of like decarbonization, and at the same time you have to implement digital technology because you need to stay competitive, right? And you need to do it like fast, effectively, efficiently. So maybe you could give an advice to the refineries who are at the starting point, what trends they should follow and in terms of digitalization to make a success.
When people look at digital transformation, they directly jump on technology. But it should start with people, process, and then technology. So any company who's starting, the first should do their digital health assessment. Second, they should identify the gaps based on this.
Yeah.
And third, after identifying the gaps, put a plan for next 2-3 years where exactly you want to reach. So this is any company who is embarking the journey, they should do this approach.
We started talking about the strategy of Essar Oil, yeah, and about the following the trend of nowadays industry, decarbonization. And I've read that we should consider Stanlow refinery, Stanlow complex, as the first low-carbon refinery in the UK. So can you comment on this and what stage we are now? Because as far as I remember, you have a goal to reach this point by 2040, 2040?
Yeah, so rather 2030, we will achieve a lot of that. Okay, so yes, Essar Oil has embarked to the journey where we want to decarbonize. We will be the first decarbonized plant, right? So there are a few things which we are doing. We have set up a business known as EET, that's Essar Energy Transition.
Yeah, and
okay. This business is doing couple of things. One is like setting up a hydrogen plant. Second, it will do the carbon capture. Okay, so it will help in the now the hydrogen which will be produced out of this EET business will be used. So we are also modifying, making it efficient, as well as we are furnace. We are modifying our furnace so it can completely run on hydrogen. So just by changing the furnace, we are saving some on carbon, and just by running on hydrogen, further we will capture. And the interesting part is EET business. When we are generating this hydrogen, we'll use the off gas of refinery to produce this. So we are repurposing that.
That's
Right?
amazing.
And the entire process, we will capture carbon. We are part of the HyNet, which UK government is right now running to make decarbonize the northwest side of it.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
Right. So what we are trying to do is once we capture this, this will be moved from here. The transportation will be done by help of the ENI group, and it will be put in the all those well switches of end of life. Okay, inside the Liverpool Bay.
Okay.
Okay,
I see.
so what we are trying to do is we are not only trying to move to a more greener. It is known as a blue hydrogen because
Yeah.
we are capturing the
Yeah.
carbon out of it. So we are moving to a better fuel, right, for our production, capturing carbon, and moving to more efficient way of producing.
Sounds very ambitious and very impressive, I should say, and like wish you luck with this, because I think that is what we should think about really for like future generations and our stage as well. That's very interesting. And like, so you are producing, you're going to produce green hydrogen, right? As well.
Yeah, we are also going to produce green hydrogen.
Okay, and maybe you can, maybe you could share with us like some challenges that you're coming across while working on this strategy of becoming a low carbon, the first low carbon refinery.
I think I will answer it in two parts. As a company, and I'm speaking while I'm speaking on behalf of company, right? We are trying, we are working toward the strategy. There are challenges, there are things because government has to really support us in the entire, because this is a very, very important project which and
Yes.
we are actually part of the program, and a lot of companies are dependent on this, right? So all the processes needs to move faster, right? So that's the thing. But I will leave it to the company. From the digital side of it, things like how, as a digital guy, right, the challenges I see is on the data quality,
Yeah.
right, adoption,
Yeah.
upskilling of people, right? These are the few things. Cyber security. These are the few things as a digital leader. I feel there are challenges.
And you attended AUTOMA. It basically was like 2 days, 2 previous days. Yeah. Did you find something interesting and something to learn there?
Definitely. I think any of the conference, right, AUTOMA, any of the conference, when a person goes, it's a huge investment by company as well as an individual. Uh, what I got out of this is like different point of views, POVs, listening, different success stories, different challenges,
Yeah.
right? In 2 days, getting all those things and different partners, about 50 plus partners were there, right? Everything together at one place, you will never find a time to do that. So this is the best part of, and I really loved Automa because it started with a certain story. It ended with a certain story with all the startups, talking of the startups,
Yeah.
right? It was a great, I think, a lot of different decarbonization was there, a story, sustainability was so based on the interest, people can just go in that direction, learn about it, which generally nobody will find out of their regular work hours to spend time on. So it was a lot of fun. Learned a lot. Uh, very significant couple of leads which I generated, which I know we were looking for. Already got connected with the team, right? So there is a huge advantage. Anybody to come to Automa, where you get different vendors, right? Different stories, different success stories, and maybe sometimes failures also people shared about it. So it's a great, and also socialize with different people. You come to know, okay, what's happening in other industry. So it's a great forum.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that it was like a success story for you, the participation in AUTOMA 2023. Your time is very valuable for like every hour, basically, for the company. And what does make you attend AUTOMA? for example, the Congress? And how do you find time to do so? How do you plan?
All the leaders, I have seen them that while they are focused on something, but they are not out of other things.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's a part of a leader which I've seen. So so when I came to AUTOMA, right, I blocked the calendar. I knew I was out, but I also told my team, remember, I'm always a phone call away. Today morning also I got a call for something. Right? So you have to figure it out. I have got a great team.
Great
I have a great organization, great team. I think they are managing very well. So, something which I generally do in all my roles is I need to kill my roles. That means I should not be dependent. I try to make sure there are processes. Things are dependent on process and doesn't break when I move on.
Speaking about AUTOMA Congress, you said that there were topics devoted to decarbonization, sustainability from the digital point of view, and it is aligns with the strategy of your company. Yeah.
Yes, very much. I think it is perfectly aligned. I think there was a lot of ideas, a lot of things. There was a lot of excitement around what we do at Essar, right? So people were looking, okay, the kind of investment. So we are investing about 3.6 billion in next 5 years.
Yeah.
Right, out of that, 1.2 will be invested in India, and 2.4 will be invested in Stanlow, near Stanlow. So huge investment in this journey. The focus in all the 5 companies, right, from SRL UK to EET Hydrogen to EET Future Energy, which is the one I talked about, the India one,
Yeah.
STL, and the EET Biofuels.
Biofuels.
Okay, so huge work. We will be the first in Europe.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be challenging, but it's also going to be interesting, especially because we will be the first one.
Yeah.
Right. It's always easy to follow. It's difficult to start. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm sure it will be very helpful for the greener future.
Thank you very much for sharing your insights and your experience. It was really interesting to talk to you and to have you with us at BGS Talks. Big honor. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you next time at AUTOMA next year. And I wish you a great success with road and let your refinery be the first decarbonized refinery, and will give a good examples to others who will be following your way. Thank you very much.
Definitely, and thank you for inviting me to be speaker and for this recording. It was lovely talking to you, and overall it was a great experience. Last 3 days has been a great investment, which I feel is a very good investment.
Thank you.
So thank you for inviting me, and it was lovely, and definitely we will be the first one to follow the journey.
Yes.